Welcome to the Goat Film Reviews channel on YouTube, and we're going to be doing another unboxing for you. My name is Kyle Goethe, and let's talk about the film set we're about to talk about today. It's a fairly recent set from the Criterion collection. As you guys know, I'm a huge Criterion collection fan. I have almost all, or maybe all, of the currently in print box sets that they have. I love their film school in a box mentality about how they go about movies, on them rescuing other movies that have disappeared into obscurity. So this is another unboxing video in that realm. So we're going to talk about today Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films. It contains 4 films and a number of other 4 films on the outset, but there's actually another one inside this set that they don't talk about on the inner lining here. So this is set number, it doesn't have a number on it, but it contains 1093, 1094, 1095, and 1096 of the Criterion spines. We are going to open that bad boy up and take a look right now. Okay, so as you can see right here, we have the Melvin Van Peebles Essential Films collection. Let's go ahead and unwrap this beast. And we'll take a look at it together. I love doing these guys because, to be honest, I never open these things. I never have time to. Okay, so there's the film set right there. Got our description of our films, lots of special features. It's a 5 Blu-ray set, so why don't we pop these open one by one and take a look at them. And mind you, I actually have very little knowledge of Melvin Van Peebles. I know him as a filmmaker, but my biggest connection with him is he was in the Shining miniseries in the 90s. He played Dick Halloran, so I'm experiencing a lot of this for the first time. As we see here, the first film, number 1093, is The Story of a Three-Day Past, directed, of course, by Melvin Van Peebles. Melvin Van Peebles' edgy, angsty, romantic first feature could never have been made in America. Unable to break into segregated Hollywood, Van Peebles decamped to Paris, taught himself French, and wrote a number of books in the language, one of which, La Permission, grew out of the story for his stylistically innovative The Story of a Three-Day Pass. Turner, an African-American soldier stationed in France, is granted a promotion and a 3-day leave from base by his casually racist commanding officer and heads to Paris, where he finds whirlwind romance with a white woman. But what happens to their love when his furlough is over? This is 1967, 86 minutes. It's in black and white, in French and English with English subtitles. And pretty standard-looking disc right there. We always get the C on some of these ones, but that's okay. 3-day pass poster, that's pretty cool. And again, this is the cardboard flaps. These tend not to be too much of a problem from Criterion, but I've heard if they get damaged that you can actually message them and they'll send you another one. So right here we have Watermelon Man, again directed by Melvin, and 1094 on the spine listing. Melvin Van Peebles' only foray into Hollywood filmmaking, Watermelon Man is one of the most audacious, radically conceived works to be financed by a major American studio in the 1970s. Comedian Godfrey Cambridge delivers a virtuoso performance in Whiteface as Jeff Gerber, a loudmouth, bigoted white insurance salesman whose sitcom-like suburban existence is jarringly upended when he wakes up to discover that he has become a black man. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Okay. We have a 4K digital restoration, introduction by Melvin Van Peebles in 2004. How to Eat Your Watermelon in White Company and Enjoy It, a feature-length documentary on Van Peebles' life and career. This is a 1970 film, 100 minutes in color. Watermelon Man, that's wild. Okay, I forgot to mention the special features for Story of a Three-Day Pass. Let's take a look at those. Got the 4K digital restoration, introduction, new conversation between producer and black filmmaker Foundation founder Warrington Hudlin and filmmaker and musician Nelson George. Interview from 1968 with Van Peebles for the television program Black Journal. An episode of the French television show Pour le Plaisir from 1968, featuring on-set interviews with Van Peebles and Harry Bard and Nicole Berger. 3 short films. I love when they throw these short films on here because they never really tell you, and then you just get surprised by them. Sunlight from 57, 3 Pickup Men for Herrick, 57, and Les Cinq Cent Ballet, 1961, and a trailer. So that's for the 3-day pass. Sorry, I forgot to mention those. I want to make sure I did. Over here, some pretty good stuff here. I like feature-length documentaries. They seem to cover a lot of ground. And again, we've got a pretty standard disc cover right there. But wow, that's an interesting one. That's a very interesting movie. I'm kind of excited to see that one. It reminds me of Was it Eddie Murphy who went into a white costume on SNL? I think he did, and then he found that everyone was like opening doors for him, and magic things happen when you're white. It was a very funny set. All right, up next we get Sweetback's Badass Song, directed by Melvin Van Peebles, of course. And this is a thicker one. I'll tell you why in a minute. I kind of was aware of this one. 1095. A landmark of black and American independent cinema that would send shockwaves through the culture, Sweetback's Badass Song was Melvin Van Peebles' third feature, made after he walked away from a contract with Columbia Pictures in order to make his next film on his own terms. Acting as producer, director, writer, composer, editor, and star, Van Peebles created the prototype for what Hollywood eventually co-opt and make into the blaxploitation hero, a taciturn, perpetually blank-faced performer in a sex show who, when he's pushed too far by a pair of racist cops looking to frame him for a crime he didn't commit, goes on the run through a lawless underground of bikers, revolutionaries, sex workers, and hippies in a killer-be-killed quest for liberation from white oppression. Sweetback's badass songs, incendiary politics are matched by Van Peebles' revolutionary style, in which jagged jump cuts, kaleidoscope superimpositions, and psychedelic sound design come together in a sustained howl of rage and defiance. This film is 1971, 97 minutes in color. All right, so let's talk about these Blu-ray speeches because there's a lot. It's 2 discs for this one. A 4K digital restoration approved by Van Peebles in collaboration with the MoMA, with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. It's got an audio commentary from 97 by Van Peebles, introduction from him in 1997, conversation between Mario Van Peebles and film critic Elvis Mitchell, interview from 1971 with Melvin Van Peebles on Detroit Tube Works, episode of Black Journal from 1971 featuring Van Peebles and critics Clayton Riley, Francis Ward, and A. Peter Bailey, and a new conversation between scholars Gerald R. Butters Jr., Novotny Lawrence, and Amy Abugo Ongiri. It's got a trailer. It's got excerpts from a 2004 interview with Van Peebles for the Directors Guild of America Visual History Program. And this is the thing I was excited about. It comes with Badass, a 2003 fictional feature film based on his diaries from the making of this movie, directed and starring by Mario Van Peebles, his son, with a commentary by both father and son. The story behind Badass, The Birth of Black Cinema, a 2004 featurette on the making of Badass. The Real Deal, a 2002 interview with the director on the making of Sweetback's Badass Song, and subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. So this is actually 2 films in one set. Oh, goodness, fell right out there. Protect your discs, people. Protect your discs. World's a dangerous place. So we got Sweetback's Badass Song and Badass in here, and then we of course get the poster right there. Da-da-da. Pretty cool. I'm gonna make sure that this gets safely. There we go, back into its home. Okay. Oh, and I should point out as well, I didn't say this before, but this is the cover for that one, and then when you open it, you get the cover for Badass. So that's kind of cool, and then you open it further to get the poster. So again, 2 discs right there. Pretty stellar. Up next, we have Don't Play Us Cheap. Again, Melvin Van Peebles. 1096 on there. Melvin Van Peebles' film version of his Tony Award-nominated Broadway musical Don't Play Us Cheap is a bold blend of theater and nervy cinematic invention. A cast of black stage and screen luminaries, including Esther Roll, Mabel King, and Avon Long, star in this charmingly offbeat, fable-like fantasy in which a pair of mischief-making devil bats dispatched by Satan assume human form in order to wreak havoc on a Saturday night house party in Harlem, only to find their diabolical plan thwarted by their host's infectious generosity of spirit. Staged with ebullience, this original blues and gospel-infused songs by Van Peebles burst forth in a life-affirming celebration of black joy, tenderness, resilience, and strength. We have a 4K digital restoration right there, with MoMA, of course. Introduction by Van Peebles from 97. Episode of Black Journal from 72 with an interview from Van Peebles and musical performances by the film's cast and subtitles right there. This is a 1972 film, 102 minutes in color. That's right there. Standard disc, like the poster. Yeah, so there we go. We also have a book. Criterion loves making these books, and I love reading these books. The Essential Films book right here. I'm not going to cover everything that's in here, but it does have some various essays on the work. Usually what they'll do is they'll do one on like the filmmaker, and then they do one kind of on each of the films and specific things that people wanted to talk about. I love these books. I love being able to read them over after I finish the set, and then usually I'll read them as I'm watching the set for the second time through, just to kind of re-experience everything. I love these kind of sets. And I say this a lot, guys, but what I really appreciate about these kinds of sets is I don't know anything about Melvin Van Peebles. I knew he was a filmmaker. I knew he was an actor. I knew bits and pieces, but I didn't really know that much about him. And I think that's what's so special about these films is that you get to walk a mile in someone else's shoes for a few films and get to experience their work in a really, essential way. Hence, essential films. I'll never know what it was like to live in his shoes during the 70s, to be challenged in the way that he was. And that's kind of why I like watching movies that feature people who aren't white, people who aren't men, people who aren't straight. I like watching those movies, even though I'm a straight white male, because I get to experience life from a different perspective for a little bit. I'll get off my soapbox here, but just wanted to let everyone know, take an opportunity to watch a movie that's not made by someone with your skin color, with your gender, with your sexual orientation. Take a moment to watch a movie like that, because it's really fun to walk a mile in someone else's shoes and experience the world from a different set of eyes. All right, soapbox done. This is Melvin Van Peebles, Essential Films, and there you have it.
So there you have it. That was Melvin Van Peebles' Essential Films, 4+ movies in a set, and hopefully you've gotten a chance to decide if that is a set that you're interested in tackling down the road. We'll get into that. You'll keep checking out Goethe Film Reviews over here, because you're going to find out as I go through some of these movies what my thoughts are on them. But hey, hopefully you've decided if it's a set worth owning based on unboxing it with me over today. While you're here at the channel, please drop a like on this video. It does really, really help the channel to grow and evolve and to do more things. People are always like, why do likes help? Why do comments help? Why do subscribers help? They do. Trust me, they really, really help. I can do more the more likes, comments, and subscribers that I get, which is what my eventual goal is to have more to present to you guys. So drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment below if there are any Melvin Van Peebles films on this list that you are excited to talk about, ones maybe you've seen. What are your thoughts on them? Let me know about that as well. And hey, subscribe. I promise there's going to be some good videos on the way for you. My whole focus is to keep the conversation going between me and you. So check out the subscribe button right there. Click that if you want to join up with the team here and continue to talk great movies with me. That's all I got for today, guys. You can find all my film reviews at goatfilmreviews.com. And you can also check out the sibling show, Kyle and Nick on Film, where myself and Nick Polatichuk from the St. Paul Filmcast get together and do episodes Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, talking about various films from present and past. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you at the next one.